Hello and welcome to the Mayor's Update. We are here with
Happy to
Mayor
be here.
Joe Preston and myself. Great, and we have a special guest that's coming on in a little bit as
We have a
well.
guest joining us today.
Okay.
We're doing really good on guests. Last week's show with Ginny and Don Trepanier was fantastic, right?
It's
So
so
you'll
good.
like this week's guest also.
Oh, I think people are in for a treat. And so, you might have,
Where
if
you
you've been
are.
watching the shows, you've been seeing that we've been struggling with the questions. We're not getting the, really, maybe like true St. Thomasonian, like, historical questions. So we tapped into somebody who is an expert on such things, and when they join, they're gonna be providing about, they said, 7 questions, and we'll enter all 7 of those answers. If you get them, anyone who gets an answer to one of those 7, we will
Goes
enter
in the
those into
draw.
the draw
Yeah.
for the art print.
Yeah. So, and yes, true St. Thomas trivia coming your way. You wait. Uh,
But in the meantime, let's talk a little bit about what's been going on in the city, Mayor Preston.
Well, it's like winter won't leave. It comes, it goes, it comes, it goes. It gets warm, it melts, and then snow comes or freezing rain comes, and then it melts, and then, I mean, look, it's I give up. Who do I have to surrender to for this winter to be further along than the 22nd of February, 23rd of February? So yeah, I'm look, I'm not a huge winter fan, but I'm tired of it now. But it also brings on a number of troubles, right? Certainly, snowplow we talk about a lot, and how we have to wait for rain to stop before we can salt, and then now we've got ice, and then we have to shovel and all of those things. And we've been all winter congratulating our works teams for doing such a great job on the snow plowing and salting and stuff. And today was another challenge. They're up at 3:30 in the morning to start covering the freezing rain before the morning traffic, and then by 8:30 they'd done all the main streets and sidewalks downtown, and then just kind of had to roll with the day. The school buses decided not to run again today, so although they're now making it where schools are open whether the buses are there or not. So that had a whole lot of I was at a couple really early morning meetings this morning, and parents are going, I've got to go, I have to drive my children today, the buses, right? Okay, so this is the whole new how we'll finish the year. But one of the other things I wanted to quickly talk about was potholes. It's that time of year, and it's been that kind of winter. When you have freeze thaw, it chips up the asphalt, and we do have some potholes. And so we do have crews out, but they're the snow plow crews. So if it's not snowing, they're the ones out doing the cold patching and finding where it is. But I've been following our favorite Facebook sites, and potholes have been a bit of a conversation. So I'm here to tell you, use customer service. Our customer service system lets us know where the pothole is you found, or even the beginning of a pothole. Please let us know. It doesn't do any of us any good if you go on Facebook and say, gee, there's a lot of potholes, or I just hit a pothole and I'm not telling you on what street. Please let us know. We'll have a crew out there as quickly as we possibly can. And there is, we try to meet a certain time goal. Right? And then the second question, well, what do I do if it damaged my tire or something? Hey, I got a great idea. Call customer service and let them know where the pothole was, and give us the details you have on what else you've been doing. Just please. If you have to how am I going to get this information to the city or to Mayor Joe? It's not Messenger on Facebook. It just isn't. I don't have a way to connect that to the works department or anyone else. Just go ahead, put it on customer service. If indeed you don't get the action you're looking for on customer service, let me know. Then I can track it. You can tell me your name and address, and I'll go and see what happened or how it got that way. So perfect. So pothole season, the new title, Pothole Mayor. We're going to try and find everyone and cold patch them till we get through to spring, and when we can more permanently fix them. But let us know on our customer service system where the potholes are. And if somebody at customer service says, who told you to call here? Say, Mayor Joe did. He wanted to know where the potholes were and wanted to get the message off to our roads team when they're not plowing snow, how to fix them.
Absolutely. And as someone who's an admin on many Facebook pages, I see messages coming in. And I think one of the biggest questions that people have, or one of the misunderstandings they have, is they don't know where the municipal boundaries are. So they'll be contacting St. Thomas for potholes that are actually in Southold or
Right.
in Central Elgin, or they might contact
Are
Central
more
Elgin for
likely in
potholes.
South Boulder. No.
Oh,
No,
easy.
okay, Mayor Grant, Mayor Sally, I apologize. I was being funny. Right? We know we've got more roads. We're going to have a few more potholes, and we kind of share the plowing of some of the roads, and we'll share the fixing of them too. So,
Absolutely. Now, we were also talking before the show how there are several people that are going to be stepping away from the roles they've been playing.
yeah, this week is a couple of great friends. First of all, I want to honor Jeff Urich. He's leaving politics, leaving the provincial politics after a fantastic, fun career. And he's done so much for the city of St. Thomas. We were friends when I was the federal politician and he was the provincial politician. We worked a lot together on many things that we're able to bring to the area. But after I became the mayor of St. Thomas, he was my absolute best friend in being able to get, funds. That's the best way to put it. Funds from the provincial government. So first of all, Jeff, it's not just about the money. You're a good friend and you are a hardworking politician. And I wanted to make sure that all of St. Thomas certainly gave you a very good goodbye and thank you. And Jeff's not going to disappear. So when you see him on the street, continue to thank him for the role that he did do. And we don't do it alone. And so Jeff's staff have also been so good at dealing with provincial problems here in St. Thomas and in the riding. We'll miss Jeff, but we may miss his staff even more. I mean, it's really a great office at getting a lot of things done provincially in our riding.
Now, here's a question. I heard someone say that the staff is not allowed to move from one politician's office to another. So like if someone took over Jeff's role, they couldn't hire his staff on. Is that true? Or is that just a rumor?
Of course that could happen. No, of course that could happen. The incoming member of provincial parliament can do what he wants to do. And if it's the staff that was there, Karen was my assistant, but the other people from the office that worked with Karen hired them all. So that's federally, but provincially is a bit different on the office. The province and Steve had that office before Jeff got there, and so the office, but the staff could. It doesn't usually happen cross-party bounds, right? But it does. But they do get to use staff. Yeah,
Okay.
Since Graydon, looks like you're in a warm place. I don't know how the rumor's getting out as to where you might be warm. Do we want
to? We're broadcasting from Long Beach, California, which is, as you can see out here, it's quite a beautiful day, and I got to tell you, it's quite the acclimatization to shift from snowy, foggy, cold weather to this beautiful environment.
I don't swear very often, and this would certainly be the first time I swore on Mayor's Update. Yeah. Look at those fluffy clouds. No, it's I know you're working hard and you're not going to get to go tour the Queen Mary or anything while you're there, but it's a beautiful Long Beach. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was supposed to go on Friday, but no, they needed me a little bit earlier, so I got the call around 9 p.m. last night that I needed to be on a 6 a.m. flight.
No, I can't go. That's early. That's not where. Right? Yeah. Kathy says, enjoy some fresh fruit. Yeah, go pick your own oranges. People love it when you go and pick their oranges. Well, I hope you have a great time out there. I know you've been looking forward to what you're working on, and now you're there. So way to go. That will mean we're probably not doing Mayor's Update next week too. Right?
No,
and they won't let Joe in charge of the buttons because who knows where I would send the show. We may cause the Ukraine invasion or something by us having the show run next week by just Joe. So I'll try and find something really fun to do while you're away. While I think about what you're doing while you're away. Yeah. Great, thank you. We're already getting questions in today. I'm happy to hear that. Or see that. We've been trying to make this much more of a forum. Ask us questions you have, even if we haven't brought up the topic. Go ahead. If you've seen something in our city you want to talk about today, well, let's go ahead and have that conversation too. And when our guest joins us, we'll have fun there too. So
I know I'm just going to fire them another email. I think there might be sometimes technical stuff happens. So I'll let you carry this this conversation while I fire an
Okay,
email
here we
off.
go. I've got more stuff. Look at also, folks. There's some flooding going on with all the different rain melt, snow melt, rain. Waterworks Park is quite mushy. Please be careful or don't visit. It's there is some flooding down there. We did human trafficking proclamation this week on Tuesday morning. A good crowd out front of City Hall for that. Today was anti-bullying day. I hope all of you wore your pink shirts today. We also did Mayor's Happy Hour this week. That's something that our great St. Thomas and District Chamber of Commerce does every year. It's kind of the state of the city address by the Mayor of St. Thomas, the Mayor of Southwold, and the Mayor of Central Elgin. So Mayor Grant Jones and Mayor Sally Martin and myself did a hour and a half show yesterday, I guess, on Mayor's Update on the things happening in each of our communities, how much we've been growing, what we expect 2023 to look like, what we'll do in the future. So love our Chamber of Commerce. They're really helping us all be transparent. We love it with our own Mayor's Update and all of the other opportunities we get to talk about what we do for a living.
And we have our guest.
All right.
We're going to bring him on stage. Welcome to the show, Councillor Steve Peters and local historian.
You've got your Wildcat shirt on.
Your Worship, this is part of what we're going to be doing this evening.
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah, great.
You answered the first question.
Oh, sorry. What hockey team was that? Yes.
You remember that hockey?
I may have been one of the first sponsors for that hockey team. I remember Doug Terry Sr. coming and talking to me about would I help sponsor a hockey team in St. Thomas. I had no idea which one he was talking about, and that was the start of the Wildcats.
Yeah, no, it was. It's a great piece of St. Thomas trivia, and and it's something that you remember and a lot of people remember. We had this semi-pro hockey team here in St. Thomas. We've got a really long history. I guess I could morph this into another question. What was the famous team associated with St. Thomas hockey in the 1960s? And we'll leave it at that. That can be your first question because Mayor Joe answered the Wildcats.
Right. Sorry. But I see Margaret's already answered that one too, I think.
1960s, yeah. You said?
Yeah. In the 1960s, yes.
All right.
I just need to jump in for a sec because I was listening to the Pothole Mayor talk, and
yes.
As the former bag boy mayor of St. Thomas, who has a song written, I can appreciate that. But I also I liked your tribute to Jeff York and his staff, and you made reference to me, and I spent 12 years as the MPP for the riding, and it's a challenging job, as you know, as the MP, and yep. We can only do so much, but it's our staff, and our staff would pick up the phone and call somebody. They were calling on our behalf, right. And on your behalf ultimately, and kudos to the staff, and but thanks to Jeff, he did a tremendous job, and we'll see what happens in June, I guess.
Well, Steve, you said the same thing. It's not easy to get there, and it's maybe even harder to leave. When you've been in that level of politics, especially someone who did it as well as you did, or Jeff does, or Jeff did, it is hard to decide when is the time right. An older Elgin politician, John Wise, and I talked about that often, about, well, how do you know when it's time? Well, don't let the people send you home. Make your own decision, is what he used to say.
Well, but it's interesting, and sorry, I've got my Verners.
Yeah, I saw that.
And that could be another local trivia question. Why is Vernon so popular in St. Thomas? It might have something to do with choo-choo trains, but we'll leave it at that. But
let's get an answer on that. Yeah.
I remember I was driving home from Toronto in 2010, and I had been 3.5 hours to Kitchener, and I thought, I've had enough of this, and I had talked to a few people before I announced it, and John Wise was one of them. and John and I were really good friends, and John was the one that tried to dissuade me most from not running a game.
Right.
But John had his reasons, but no, I think that's one of the great things about representation in Elgin, Middlesex, London. We've had people, you know, you've been there on a federal level, you know, me, Pete North, Jeff Urick, Marietta Roberts, Ron McNeil, 35 years.
Yeah.
And Ron was a Liberal, and the Liberals didn't want him as a candidate, and so he joined the Conservatives and
served 40 years. So, yeah. Yes, there's always been that type of politics, and Elgin has always been where anybody could win too. It was the person, and did they know you, and did you, you know, could you tell the truth and get it done, right? And so you're right, you've named off a pile there of and look at our current you know, tribute to Jeff.
I forgot. I did not mention Gar Knutson and Ken Monteith.
Yep.
You know,
a couple of
just before me. A couple others too. You know, you know, you and I have we've known them, we've worked with them, and people, you know, you put the party stripes aside, especially when you know, when you're working together, and you know, I'm actually kind of glad I'm at the municipal level right now with everything that's going on. I'm
having a little fun with it too, with what's going on in Ottawa. I sure didn't want to be there over the last week or so, and we've got a provincial one coming up. But absolutely, it's certainly getting some calls from some of my old friends about what do you think, how's it going, what would you do, those types of questions, and I'm happy to be where I am right now. Hey, not like it hasn't had some troubles during COVID, but it's a growing city we're having some fun help make that way. So,
just to rope it back into the trivia there, Councillor Peters,
where do you want to start, Ray?
Are you able to see the questions that are and the answers and the comments on your computer there?
No.
Okay, so we'll tell you when somebody kind of gets it right.
I'm a bit of a Luddite, and it took me a challenge just to get it. So. What I'm proposing that I'm going to just do from my end is I'll raise a question, and we can are you trying to get answers to all these this evening as we speak?
Yeah,
or
as the person gets it right, we put them in the draw. Now, Margaret McKnight said the Barons. After you asked,
and she's right.
All right, now. She's in.
Right. All
she
right. Also mentioned Wally the Wildcat under the Wildcats.
Cleveland Barons.
Yeah.
And you know, and during the era that they were here, it brought a lot of, much like baseball in the old St. Thomas Elgins, a lot of good people came to St. Thomas and stayed here because of hockey.
Right.
And she's totally right on the Cleveland Barons.
So we'll throw her name into the draw for the right. Okay.
I put it into
the
wrap.
You mentioned something about Verner's, right? And one is
and Verner's, you know, and you know, lots of people may have their thoughts on Verner's, but it's one of these soft drinks, and you came from Kent County. Yeah. I don't know if Verner's was popular in Kent or not, but it was.
Well, my dad lived in Detroit, so we knew Verner's because out of our Windsor and Detroit background. But Dad would drink nothing but rye and Verner's.
Yeah,
that was his drink. So
yeah. Well, so sticking with drinks. So there was a gentleman that came to St. Thomas in about 1833-34. His name was Samuel Eccles, and Samuel Eccles got into the brewing business and ran a brewery here. And he went to London in 1847, and he took on someone as his partner to run the brewery. So who was that? Sam Eccles, by the way, died in 1893, and he's buried in the old St. Thomas churchyard on Walnut Street. But who did Sam Eccles teach the art and mystery of brewing to?
How do you spell Eccles, Councillor Peters?
Eccles.
Right. Like the Eccles cake from the bakeries. There's
exactly. It is, and when Sam Eccles came here in 1833, he brought with him Cotswold sheep from the UK. They brought them. They came into New York State. They wintered in the winter of 1832 in New York State, and then brought these sheep to Elgin County. And Cotswold wool is still a very prized wool. So, okay, so here's another one, Graydon, and your worship, and it ties right into your shirt that you're wearing. So we all know Jumbo the elephant, and we know Jumbo met his tragic demise September 15th, 1885. But in the process, Jumbo was not the only elephant struck by a train. There was another elephant struck by a train. And Barnum exploited the idea of who struck Jumbo and what Jumbo did to save this other elephant. Mm-hmm. What was the name of the other elephant that was with Jumbo? The dwarf elephant.
Well, that helps.
So,
all right, well, we're getting a few other things. Well, nobody yet.
Okay, so here's another one, Graydon. So we the city's been part of our roundabout process, and we've been adding these really cool monuments all around the city as tributes to our heritage. So this person was the first player to enter a ball diamond wearing a number on his uniform. This was the first player to face Babe Ruth as a pitcher. Babe Ruth started in the major leagues as a pitcher. And this individual went 2 for 4 off of Babe Ruth on that very day. And this person is the first person to make that transition from a player to an announcing group or booth to announce a baseball game. And this individual is going to be going into Cooperstown Baseball Hall of Fame in New York this year. Who is
as an announcer, right?
As an announcer, exactly.
Yeah.
And this person was from St. Thomas.
Right. We have an answer.
Born in St. Thomas.
Yep. We have an answer of Tom Thumb from Harrison Cole.
Oh, good for Harrison. Thanks,
Yep.
Harrison.
And bam,
so we'll put his name in on the elephant one. We still looking for the baseball player.
Who is
okay,
announcer.
so here's another one, Graydon. So we know, and your worship, St. Thomas is named after, well, it's a bit of a dispute whether it is Colonel Thomas Talbot or not, but I will, I'll put my historian's hat on, and I will say it is Thomas Talbot that we are named after. But so Colonel Thomas Talbot received a grant of 5,000 acres of land in 1803. And this was to open up lands west of St. Thomas. But one of the reasons Talbot received 5,000 acres of land, and it was not just because of his military service, Colonel Thomas Talbot promised the government, the British government, that he would grow this particular crop to get his 5,000 acres of land. What was that crop?
Yes.
Love this one.
Yeah.
It's a good one because you can actually, there's another really cool, this isn't a question, but I'm sorry if I'm taking, but
this is great.
So during the War of 1812, St. Thomas, or what we know as present day St. Thomas, was invaded at least 3, maybe 4 times by the Americans, including November 11th, November 10th, November 11th, 1814, when the American flag flew over St. Thomas, the only time that's ever happened. But there's this story that Mrs. Rappelgee hid Colonel Talbot's important documents and hid them in this a patch, the same product that Colonel Talbot got 5,000 acres of land to grow granted,
right?
And Mrs. Rappelgee hid all these important documents in the blank patch.
But didn't she also whacked one of those American soldiers on retreat with one of her fry pans? Or is that too much of a story?
No, that's the daughter. That's Aletta.
Oh, all right.
And Aletta, this American soldier was becoming a little too friendly with her, and she had gone to the spring to collect water, and this soldier imposed a little too much, and Aletta took exception to it and whacked him over the head with a pail of water, and he went rolling down the hill. Our first heroine of St. Thomas. Aletta
Absolutely.
Now,
and one day of a foreign flag, right?
And now we're gonna have to wrap this up because I've got to run off. I'm getting messages. I've got to go back to work here. But
yeah, it's rough life in California. Hey, Councillor Peters, it's
real tough to take.
Yeah.
it's hard.
Yeah. I'm sorry if we hold you off 2 or 3 minutes there, Graydon. Okay, so we've had a couple.
Hey, you need me to go now? You're done with me? We can do this
No.
again.
No, we can do some more, but
we'll wrap it up, and then you can stay on right until the end, and then we'll call it because we're going to do the raffle.
Okay. All right. So we've tobacco was the product that we were talking about. No. Cotton. No. Sorry. Faye Gallagher and Sue Marquette's. No, those were not the crop. That one I'm pretty sure of. You correct me if I'm wrong, but I think I know which the crop is. So.
Do you want the answer?
Yep. Go ahead. Tell me that one.
Hemp.
Yep.
And it was industrial hemp because
right
for ropes and for sails for ships and the British military needed to have a good supply and they were at war with Russia at the time. And where was some of the best hemp grown? It was grown in the Ukraine. Yep. And so yes, it was hemp that he got industrial hemp. And Mrs. Rappelgee hid the important documents in the hemp patch.
Yes. So, Graydon, should we ask one more question, or is that going to?
No,
we're not getting the answer. It's fine. We still don't have anybody else to draw. So
the baseball player, that's a pretty exciting one, and people should know this based on one of the roundabouts, I believe, that went in. Is that right?
Exactly.
Just last year recognized
because it's Blank and Larry, which is a whole nother really cool, interesting story.
Yeah.
And a young lady pitching the baseball.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, study your roundabouts. Those of you that like to give us a little bit of trouble on those, this one could have got you a prize.
All right. Well, we'll call it. I've got the people here. We have Sharon Montgomery Anderson. We've got Matt Sharp. We've got Margaret McKnight. We've got Harrison Cole. All right.
Use your randomizer. You have a special app to randomize your winners.
Yep. So now I can hit this draw here on this app, and we'll see if this works for me. Hopefully, cross your fingers. There we go. And the winner is Matt Sharp for the signed canvas jumbo art print.
I know you did not take your little jumbo print with you to California to show Matt what he won tonight.
Did anybody answer that question?
No, they still haven't answered
it. Tell us the baseball player. We got the Tom Thumb one, but we did the baseball player and the hemp
Jack
one.
Rainey.
Jack Rainey.
Yep.
And there's a picture of him. There's a good metal statue of him on the roundabout on Fairview. So please study up on your St. Thomas history.
And there's a whole write-up on established media.
Yeah.
Yep.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Graydon, for that. I'd like to talk to you for another 2 hours, so you can't get out in the nice.
Okay, I'm gonna let the two of you finish up. Have a nice evening, both of you. Enjoy California.
We're having you again.
Thank you so much. That was fantastic.
We're having you again to do more trivia, so you save some more up. All right. Perfect, Graydon. I won't keep you too much longer tonight either. I know you've got a lot of work to do before the sun goes down, and it's 3 hours later there.
Still rolling.
I think the beer question was not answered, and Harrison's asking us, and I think it was either John Labatt or John Molson, but I think you might be right with John Labatt, and I'll get the right answer from Steve next week. I'm pretty sure that he went to London and started to brew beer there, so I'm guessing it was John Labatt. I think you're right, Harrison Cole.
100%. All right. Well, thanks again, everyone.
You have a very good week. We'll do no mayor's update next week. at all, but we thank you for watching tonight. Please leave questions on here even after we go. If there's more things you think about, parts of the city of the things the mayor should answer. And I spent part of last week rereading the questions and answering some of the people that were online with us. So please do it again this week, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
All right. Take care, everyone. Bye.